Welcome back to another video from the Big Room Podcast. This is our Super Bowl reaction. We're coming to you right after the Super Bowl. Happened like 30 minutes ago. Um, Honestly, we could have started this probably like the third or fourth quarter. It wasn't much of a game for a very long time. Not saying the Patriots didn't have a chance to win at the end of the game. Well, no, they really didn't.
They never had a chance to win the game.
They never had a chance to win the game. It was pretty one sided throughout. It kind of went as I expected it to. I was very confident the Seahawks were going to win this game. I thought the Patriots outmatched. I thought the Seahawks had clearly been the best team in the NFL for probably like the last 5 weeks or so. Um, After they beat the Rams during the regular season, and the defense got healthy and they started performing like they could. Um, Sam Darnold was playing pretty lights out throughout the whole season. So I figured that this would happen. I picked the Patriots to lose this game, even though I'm a Drake May fan. So we'll get to that though. But yeah, man. First of all, I want to say congratulations to the Seahawks for winning the Super Bowl this year. I don't really, to be honest, I don't think anybody picked them. I don't not that I know of. Like, not that it was like the craziest thing, but Sam Darnold hadn't proven to be like a good playoff performer whatsoever, and he wasn't even great this game. I think, like, obviously, Kenneth Walker won MVP, but
He's only had one bad playoff game.
yeah, I mean, he doesn't have a track record. That's part of it, though. He does have a track record, at least like last year, of playing bad in like high leverage games. It was a lot of doubt, you know, to really pick the Seahawks to do anything, even when they were good. Like, people couldn't envision Sam Darnold hoisting the Lombardi Trophy. But I think that this last two Super Bowls, like, they've really like pushed, like it really pushed, like this is obvious, right? But football is a team game. Like, it's not just about who you have a quarterback. Based on, but that's not how the way the sport is talked about all the time. That's not the way the sport is talked about all the time. And I think that we being honest, in the last two Super Bowls, they've been won by above average to average quarterbacks. Like, Sam Darnold is obviously above average. He's a good quarterback. Jalen Hurts, it's whatever year, like, it depends on the year, I guess. But it wasn't just Sam Darnold. It wasn't just Kenneth Walker. They just totally dominated them. Like, that was clearly a better team on it. Like, that was clearly a better team. Obviously, Drake May could have played better, which we'll get to. But that was it was a mismatch. I think that's why I picked the Patriots to win the game. I figured it would be a mismatch. I mean, I'm sorry, the Seahawks to win the game. I figured it'd be a mismatch. But they won 29-13 to win their first Super Bowl since 2013.
Yeah,
I think this is their
12 seasons.
Yeah, it might be their second in franchise history, I think. Maybe more.
Yes.
I'm not sure. But they got back to Super Bowl and won it for the first time since 2013. So again, shout out the Seahawks. Let's start there, man. Let's go over the game and how were they so dominant in this win, Q?
Obviously, we're gonna start by defense. Both defenses played well. I'm not gonna act like the Patriots defense didn't play well. They played well. Sam was taking some chances, but obviously they bend but not break. Obviously all the stops on third down from the Patriots stopped them from scoring touchdowns to keep the game in reach. But Seattle was just, like I explained, they fly around, get after the quarterback, they tackle well, they cover well, they don't get penalized, they don't let up, and they could get home with 4. Obviously, that's easy when you're going up against Will Campbell, Jared Wilson, and things like that. Will Campbell's going to be a guard for the rest of his career. He could be a great guard. He's just not going to be a left tackle in this league anymore. Sorry to say, still got a job, so it's not really, you know what I'm saying? You're a first-round pick, made first-round money. You could be an elite guard, make the Hall of Fame that guard. Quentin Nelson's a Hall of Fame guard. It's cool. You don't got to be a left tackle. But, you know, they got to fix that up. What's that, 8 sacks as a team? 2 for Byron Murphy, great draft pick. 2 from Derek Hall, great draft pick. Devin Witherspoon, Mills, who else? Yeah, they went crazy. And Sheldon also had the touchdown. Like, the defense was just shutting everything down. They was in Drake May's lap. Obviously, they got 2 touchdowns, but obviously those touchdowns, when the first one came, there was like maybe a 10% chance that 20% chance that we maybe might see something if they get 2 stops and still score. But then after that, it was over with. put the ball on the floor. Finally, eventually, they was able to force Drake May into some turnovers, and that like even put the game more out of reach. Can't forget about Jason Myers with his kicking, and then you got Kenneth Walker, who had basically one of the best running back performances since Terrell Davis back in the '90s. So, and who was a Super Bowl MVP? Great team, great team effort. John Snyder deserves a lot of credit. Mike McDonald deserves a lot of credit. Defensive play calling. I want to stick to the John Snyder point because we talk about the Howie Rosemans and the Brett Veaches and whatnot in terms of GMs. John Snyder is clearly one of the, I think, probably the two best GMs in the sport. Was able to make 2 different Super Bowl rosters with like that were completely different. Moved off Pete Carroll, moved off Russ. Those things were hard to do. You bring in a defensive head coach when everybody was leading the offense into a division that got Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay. Clearly made the right choice. You got great draft from the Russell Wilson trades. You get great draft picks. So you made the right picks, build the right team, and that's exactly what this was. It was just a great team put together by John Snyder, and they have a great runway because they're not paying nobody really much anything. If Sam Darnold's smart, he's not going to take $55 million, and they're just going to keep recouping. This could be like what we thought Seattle would have been like back in the 2012, 2013, and be like maybe the start of a dynasty. That sounds kind of crazy to say with Sam Darnold because we know Sam Darnold, but it would have been crazy to say with Russell Wilson too at the time. But they went to back-to-back Super Bowls and dominated the NFL for a 2-year stretch. So as long as John Snyder's there, Sam Darnold keep doing what he's doing, and Mike McDonald, I think the sky's the limit for this team. They could be literally one of the next great dynasties. Obviously, it's harder said than done, but they got the infrastructure, they got the team, and I don't see them going anywhere in the NFC specifically for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I think that they kind of like dominate the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. They were able to run the ball, and that was the reason why the offense was able to be successful. Sam Darnold was not good, especially in the first half, like passing the ball in the air at all. The Patriots secondary was great. They were great rushing the passer and blitzing. But when they were able to run the ball with Kenneth Walker, that's when their offense really opened up. They started moving the ball, and they made it easy for the passing game. But I think, again, the Seahawks dominated the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. Drake May did not have a lot of time very often in this game. I would assume, I haven't looked, but I would assume his QB pressure percentage is really high. I think that he could have played better, obviously. He missed some open throws. He was a little bit skittish in the pocket because I don't think he trusted his pocket. The left side of his offensive line was completely inept. You talk about Will Campbell. He got pushed back on multiple occasions. He got beat pretty much every rep.
52%.
52%. That's ridiculous.
Like, under pressure. Yeah.
The Seahawks, again, great win. I'm not gonna really speak too much on them. They had I don't want to say a historic team, but that's a really, really good team. Like that team, I think, can compete with a lot of Super Bowl teams over the last few years. Their defense
compare it to the Seahawks team that won the Super Bowl. Like if you compare it to that team, it's pretty much built the same way, like the exact same way.
They got a lot of guys. They got a lot of guys that can run around on defense and make tackles. Witherspoon, really, really great blitzing today. He was probably one of their defense MVPs. Their defense is amazing. And then their offense obviously is explosive. And then we got a running game going like they did. Like Kenneth Walker was really good down the stretch. Getting Rashid Shaheed was really beneficial for this team down the stretch. Mike McDonald is a great defensive mind. His ability to simulate pressure without not having like the Seahawks defense line isn't like super great. Like they have guys on that defense line, but it's not like they're not all world. Like
if you got four B plus or like 4B like D linemen, you're fine instead of having 2 A's and 2 F's. You know what I'm saying? So they solid consistently all around. They didn't have a double-digit sack guy all season, but everybody had like 7 or 8 sacks. That's still like damn near 40 total sacks between your D line.
So yeah, I don't think they have like they have talent on that D line. I'm not saying it's bad by any means, but I'm saying I think Mike McDonald, like the way he simulates pressure, the way he disguises defenses, it elevates the talent he has on the team. You saw that again with the Ravens. So great. They had great coordinators too. Like obviously Mike McDonald and then Clint Kubiak. Clint Kubiak is going to go to the Raiders this offseason. So it's very, very. You talked about them like repeating this process. We got to see who they hire for the offensive coordinator because that's going to be very important. I think I'm done with the Seahawks. Again, I'm not trying to move on from there quickly. Great win. I think
we expected that to happen, so we understood the game plan of what they were going to do. So it's not like Not that we shouldn't talk about, but we get how this was going to win. It pretty much played out exactly how anybody probably would have predicted.
Oh man, that was a painful game to watch as a Drake May fan. For Drake May, I think it was an excruciating end to a very, very, very promising second season in the NFL. One of the best second seasons in the NFL. And it was a painful end to a very, very bad playoff run from Drake May. His numbers were atrocious. His play was atrocious. But I will say, even though he was bad in the playoffs, we don't have to do this referendum on what his season was at all. Like, I get the schedule jokes. It's all funny. I got to stress that, yes, the schedule was light, but it's very, very clear that this is not a talented football team. It's just not. Their defense has some guys, but their offensive line, as you saw in this game, when they're going up against actual pass rushers, is inept. It is. They don't have many guys that can separate against man coverage. They don't. And they also aren't a great team at running the ball. Like, Drake May really floor raise at an elite level this regular season. And he wasn't able to do it in the playoffs because they were facing hard defenses consistently. I mean, they faced 4 top 10 defenses. It's very hard to do that when you don't have a guy that can really beat man coverage at this stage in your career. You don't have a line that can protect you. You don't have a running game to really rely on. So it puts a lot of earnest on a second-year quarterback with no playoff experiences and an offense infrastructure that's not great. Should he have played better? 100%. But it shouldn't be a referendum on him as a player, his season overall, and his future. Like, it's obviously going to be very, very hard to get back to this point, but the Patriots are ahead of schedule by a lot. Drake May is ahead of schedule by a lot. Like, you obviously feel disappointed with the result of you obviously feel disappointed with the result of the Super Bowl, but the future is bright in New England. The future is bright with Drake May. Now, it is definitely hard because what's his name?
Ooh.
Dan Campbell. Like Dan Campbell said, we may not ever get here again. And the Lions haven't been back. But they have a really solid infrastructure with Mike Vrabel, who's a culture changer. Josh McDaniels is not going anywhere anytime soon because he's probably never getting a head coach job ever again. They need to really work on his offensive line for sure. Like Will Campbell, like you said, he probably got to go to guard. His arms are too short. He's not strong enough to play on the edge. He gets pushed back a lot because he can't engage because his arms are so short. They need a true wide receiver one. They have a collection of nice talent, but again, I don't think they really have man beaters, to be honest. Those guys are really good in zone, though. Stephon Diggs really good in zone. Booty.
Not a man beater anymore because of obviously age and injury.
Yeah.
He's still an elite route runner, but
they probably not going to prioritize wide receiver or running back, probably, to be honest. But because they need.
I wouldn't prioritize running back. I'd prioritize offensive line and wide receiver because running back production. Like even though I'm on the side of like if he's an elite prospect, take the running back. You can still simulate running back production as long as your offensive line is solid. You know what I'm saying? So the lost yards probably look better as long as the line is able to get pushed. I don't think. I'm not going to say it was like a referendum on like the season, but like for the same exact reasons why people were saying like this team can't win a Super Bowl. It was just like people were going against it during the season, like trying to beat it down the opposition that no, the Patriots can't win the Super Bowl. Like you've seen it with Ant. Like anytime you give the proper analysis or give like reasons, not excuses, but you give the reasons why something should happen, you get the but this, and that, and the third with confirmation bias based off like, yes, they beat the Saints or whatever the case may be. I beat down the drum like this Patriots team, along with most other teams like the Chiefs, the Bills, Ravens. Without the quarterback, they're a 4, 5, 6 win team. So when you're going up against these 4, 5, 6 win teams with your own 5, 6 win team, and you have a top 5 quarterback, you're going to win those games. You know what I'm saying? So that's when you get the 11, 12, 13 wins, but it's the minute details that matter when it comes to the matchups. And it's like one of those, if you the broken clock twice is wrong, right twice a day type situations where the more you say no, eventually somebody was gonna be right and say the Patriots weren't gonna win the game. It just took them to the Super Bowl for those people to be right. And now, everybody's going to get their jokes off, their rocks off. This internet sports, the climate that we lived in. So obviously, like, play bad, you're going to get a bunch of memes. You're going to get a bunch of this, that, and the third. Obviously, opposing confirmation bias with I told you this, I told you that. But that just lacks the nuance of talking about the game. Because obviously, if you watch the game, Drake was they were in his lap in less than 2 seconds every single time. It was amazing that he didn't fumble the ball more, get sacked more, whatever the case may be. It's just, if you look at the numbers, he still had 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like, it's like he still, like, if you didn't watch the game, he's like, overmatched, whatever, he still put up numbers. It happens. It's your first Super Bowl. If you do get back, it would probably most likely be under better circumstances because you got all this money. Like, I think that's what they should be worried about. This is, honestly, and it's hard to say this is the Super Bowl, but this house money. Like, here's this house money.
Bro, literally, bro. It's literally
I understand. Expectations are supposed to change as you go along. Like, as you go along the season, it's no more we wasn't supposed to be here type. But again, this is house money. This first year of Rabes, even though we know he's a great coach.
Bro.
New team. Like, this is a new team, new quarterback. Half the roster is new between free agency and draft. You're about to sign and draft another set of players again this summer. Like, another half of your roster probably be rehauled again. And you're gonna have to go through that same process. It's hard. It's just what happened. I'm not gonna say you caught people by surprise and caught the bubble, or whatever the case may be, but that's just what happens. If you look back at the past 10 Super Bowls, most of those teams, they all pretty much had a top 10 easy schedule. That's just how you make it to the Super Bowl. That's how you make it to the playoffs. That's how you get the 13 win teams. Like, the Rams were bad the year before they made it to the Super Bowl. The Bengals were bad before they made it to the Super Bowl. Like, they lost. They had the number 1 pick, or like the number 4 pick. They got drafted Jamar Chase. Like, that just happened. They made it to the Super Bowl. Nobody cared. Easy schedule just means you're gonna go to the playoffs and you're gonna go far. It's up to whatever you do after that. But great season. Playoffs weren't bad, but it's cool. Again, second year QB. We see what happens year 3, year 4, year 5. He's already ahead of the curve. Hall of Fame trajectory. That's all I really care about, to be honest.
Yeah, people gonna get their rocks off. I get it, bro. But listen, like, I've been saying, y'all QBs ain't on shit. Bro. I don't care.
You don't have a team. You can't do that.
That's my quarterback. I don't like.
No, it's not.
That's my guy.
That's my guy. To your what? Quarterback for your what? Quarterback for your what?
For my team.
What team?
Me, Mahomes, Server.
Flip that. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Bro, I'm gonna ride for my guy, bro. I'm with Drake since UNC, bro. Like, redshirt freshman year, UNC. Not red, true freshman year. Well, not I think it's a red shirt. Yeah, like, nah, bro. It's okay. Like, I don't know. It's tough to say. I can't even say he's gonna be back because people really don't get back. Like, people really don't get back.
Nah, bro.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I don't know. You literally need, most of the time, you need experience to, like, play this well, play well in the playoffs. You can't just go in there raw. Like, no, Mahomes, Jaden Daniels last year was like an outlier. Like, Mahomes is like really an outlier in terms of just hitting the ground running in the playoffs. Nobody really does that, bro.
The problem is we've seen so many of these outliers now that it's like we started getting numb to think that's the norm. But we're not going to keep seeing Jaden Daniels. We're not going to keep seeing CJ Stroud. Even if we want to put it to second-year QBs, we're not going to keep seeing Drake Mays and Caleb Williams and whatnot. Like, it's not going to just keep happening. Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. Like, if that happens, those are just, like, most likely all-time quarterbacks. But 9 times out of 10, it's just not going to happen like that.
Yeah. Great NFL season. We're going to do an NFL draft, mock draft here soon, since the season is completely over. NFL season is over. Now things are a little bit less hectic. We'll be back with NBA stuff, NBA draft stuff. So, yeah, man. Tough game, but we'll see you soon. That's going to be it. Well, y'all, we out.